Hey, this is Chuck Billy from Testament, and I'm blowing it up.
I'm blowing it up.
Blowing up.
On Capital Chaos.
Capital Chaos.
Capital Chaos TV.
All right, this is Tom Sundgren with Capital Chaos TV. And today we're here with Markus Siegenhort from LANTLÅS. Thanks so much for taking the time to do this interview, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
Definitely. So, Wild Hun album just came out last Friday.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming, big production for sure over the years. How's it feel to finally release it out to the public and everything?
Actually, really, I couldn't be any happier because, it was such a burden to carry all these ideas with me and not be able to share it with the world or with, people I knew that were waiting for the release. It was kind of painful, to be honest. But yeah, well, sometimes things take time. There were a lot of really boring obstacles like crashing hard drives, shit like that. That really, it was a pain in the ass. Everything was like, I don't know, just a lot of work to do. But yeah, now that it's out, I'm really, really happy. I'm totally blown away by the feedback of the fans. There was so much love, and I expected a lot more hate to happen because of the stylistic change, and people, on the internet it's just normal that people don't like what you do. But with this step, I felt like it could be, a little bit risky, and it felt a little risky, but I got so many loving messages, so many comments and all that. I really appreciate it. It was really awesome.
Awesome, yeah. It's definitely blew me away. First listen, instantly, like super blissful, positive vibes, tons of genres mixed together into one, but it all flows so cohesively. And it's like when you're talking about like you're expecting like some hate or something like that, it's like I feel like the fans that loved Melting Sun would naturally love this album. Like any fans from like your first album or something like that, like if they're expecting that album, that'd be kind of weird because it's like obviously you keep progressing and new sounds and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, they shouldn't be too surprised, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. But there's 7 years and expectations can go like crazy, with all the time having passed and all that. And I was, it was also quite how you say it, exciting for me. I was kind of, there was some tension, and of course I am very sure about the product. I love the album, but when the day comes, you can get a little overly excited. And so I was really happy. That's all I can say. Really, really happy.
Yeah, seriously, like my top 6 favorite albums of all time, and like it's been like 11 years since another band kind of made it in that ballpark for me. And I didn't think, I knew it was possible for it to happen again, but it's been just so long since a band's done that, and I was just really blown away. But yeah, the whole recording process, could you kind of explain like that whole thing? I know it's kind of happened over the years, and you did some at your place and stuff like that, because I could tell like the mix itself is just really even more honed in, and it's just there's so many more layers and stuff. So I feel like it'd be a whole nother process, the mixing itself. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. We did it with my albums. It's always like, I never actually got to record in a really great big studio or something. I used to have an own place, which was like actually really a really cool studio. But I have to give it up. I had to give it up, and we were like pretty much guerrilla recording it anywhere. I just found a room that was sounding nice, and it was an old sauna, so it wasn't even made for recording. in there. But I found that the place, it was in the middle of nowhere, sometime in, I don't know, man, when was it? 2017, 2018 or something. And I put all my gear together and placed it there. And Felix, my drummer, he came with me, and we were there for a straight, I think, 2 weeks or something, and just recorded the drums. And this was the first thing recorded for the album, and the rest I actually recorded at home. And it's nothing really fancy that happened. It was just me, the computer, some very minimal gear, and the rest was done actually in the box. And what you mean is maybe more the production than the mix, which you referred to earlier. And that was quite a bit of work because of all, I try to make everything very, exciting. I try to put a lot of details on each part and each moment of the album. And it's not like I mix a song or something, but I rather considered each part for part, and try to, make it just interesting, and to make it kind of wobbly, shimmery all the time, and have different instruments, different soundscapes and layers. And that's what makes or produces a lot of work. But that's also my major thing to do. That's the most fun part for me, to draw the picture, or to create a scene, if you can put it this way. And I mixed the album in my studio, in my home studio. I'm currently right in here. You don't see anything so much, but if I turn around, it's like my little space where I did most of the work. And and the setup was quite easy. It was just a custom built rat pedal, Proco rat pedal, and the guitar straight into the console. And
wow.
And some whammy action. But so I try to keep it as minimal as possible, to not like over engineer it and stuff like that.
Okay.
I
never would have guessed it was one guitar pedal essentially. I thought it'd be like tons of different plugins, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not too good with like recording programs when it comes to like amp simulations like that. I'm not too smart with that, but I thought it'd be a lot more bigger process. But going back to the mix, like it seems very modern and fresh to me, and like bass, drums come in perfectly clear, all the layered harmony, the vocals, and like nothing's buried. So like I really noticed that too, the mix and the mastering also. And then so like with the new sounds for Wild Hunt and stuff like that, I feel like you entered new territories as far as like your vocals and like different tones and kind of range and stuff like that. Did you like take any like voice lessons after Melting Sun type of thing, or did this kind of come natural type of thing?
No, it was, I didn't take any voice lessons or something, but it came somehow natural, but not for LANTLÅS actually. LANTLÅS is only really a small percentage of music I make. Make all kind of stuff. Lately I'm doing a lot of death metal actually, which is kind of funny, but
sick.
Next year we're gonna have a death metal album, and I'm currently working on the second album for that death metal project. It's called Labyrinth of Stars. This is one example. Or I did the Glitch King stuff, and lately I just really did a lot of pop music, and I discovered that my key thing, what I like to do, is writing songs and production, and not like playing the guitar or something. It's just a tool, but I rather, want to write songs. And over the years, I've gotten to listen to a lot of different music, a lot of R&B, a lot of very vocal-centered stuff. And when I was younger, I was pretty much a hardcore metalhead, listening to death and black metal all the time. And it was all about the drums, the riffs and stuff like that, and some shrieking and some grunting, growling, whatever you want to call it. And so I actually, before Melting Sun, it started with Melting Sun, I was kind of listening to music in an instrumental way, and I never really cared too much about the vocal. And over the last years, like I said, I listened to a lot of vocal-centered music, and I wanted to write songs. And songs are kind of just a company for the vocal, which I realized over the years. And so I started to sing on my pop songs, and I started to just practice by that, recording to several songs I wrote and playing it back, listening to the timbre, listening to what sounds in the vocal sounds good, which is too nasal or something. And I just figured it out, man. And actually the vocals were a lot of work for the album, as you can maybe tell, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of tracks and lots of harmonies, and but it is so cool to be confident with the voice and to give that really personal flavor to the songs. And I'm quite happy with the outcome, or I'm definitely very happy with the outcome. And it's a facet of my musicality I didn't really bother too much in the past about, but now, I think it's one of the most important parts in music.
Nice. Awesome. Progression over time with your vocals and stuff like that. Awesome. Yeah. Because I loved your vocals on Melting Sun too, but with Wild Hunt, it's just so much more range and harmonies. That another thing that really stood out to me with the album.
And also, if I may add, the approach to the Wild Hunt album was to make everything more compact, to make everything more accessible, because this is also what I learned from listening to different kinds of music, that you can have a song that is so weird, so distinct and special, and you can place the message within 3 minutes. And this is something that has really impressed me as a producer, as a songwriter. And you don't need like 12-minute epic songs and stuff like that. I mean, it's cool, but I think I'm over with that. And I wanted to just make my music more accessible and to have it more direct. And this is also why I really tried hard to have a lead vocal, not like ha 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 in the background or something, but a real straight up lead vocal. And this is also, it had a lot of impact on the songs.
Nice. Yeah, when you say like kind of shorter songs compressing, I'm always like fascinated with pop music when it comes to the song structure, but like, I don't know, just having an accessible hook right away, that's pretty hard when you're kind of playing heavier music and incorporating all the different sounds like post-rock, shoegaze, grunge, but it makes it even that much more interesting, that much more catchy to me when, you get the formula down for, shorter songs and stuff like that, which is, for me personally, if I was writing, it'd be a lot harder to do that. I'm kind of used to more drawn out stuff.
Yeah, sure. But it's also really fun to do that, because you really have to focus on and think about what you're going to do, because it also on one side it makes stuff a lot easier, a lot more easy is what you say, I think. But you definitely have to get used to do so. And in the end, I think it's a great thing for me, at least, to do. Yeah.
Awesome. And then going back to when you were talking about the Labyrinth of Stars, I'm definitely looking forward to that. That should be interesting. And didn't know you had that. I mean, I've heard of that project that you kind of listed, but I never heard the music from that. So I'm very stoked for that. That'll be a cool, different outlet to hear from you. You have that other band, Asses, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's more grunge, right?
Yeah, but it's I do Labyrinth of Stars with the same guy. He's called Christian Kolf, and he has several other bands like Owl. I don't know if you ever heard of him, or Valborg. And he's for me, he's one of the best underground musicians in Germany, and he's also kind of my best friend, to be honest. And so we hang out a lot, and awesome. We definitely got a really strong root in death metal, which I found out just 2 years ago that death metal was such an important thing for me over my whole music listening career. We just he was writing this song, and I was like, wow, it sounds so awesome, and he triggered me, and it went back and forth, and so you just ended up having an album, and it was so cool. It was fun, quick. It didn't really feel like work, and it's some kind of ethereal, weird outer space death metal thing. And
hell yeah, sounds right up my alley for that type of death metal for sure.
yeah.
Are you listening, like, what kind of death metal do you listen to these days? Is it kind of like older death metal, or is there any modern bands these days that kind of excite you? Or
there are some modern bands that are really cool, but for me, the essence of death metal is Morbid Angel. I'm a huge Morbid Angel fan. Not too much the early ones, but rather it starts with Formulas, Fatal to the Flesh, the Gateways one. My favorite one is the Heretic one. And I don't know, man. I've been listening to these albums since I'm 14 years old, and they always come back. I listen to R&B for like, I don't know, 1 year or something, but there's always Morbid Angel in there. I can't really explain it. They have like this really special, sludgy, weird, unique thing going on that I always go back to.
Oh yeah. No, I'm the same with Morbid Angel. Like, obviously their first 3 albums are huge for a lot of people, and I get it, helped the genre, and it was huge at the time. But me personally, that mid-era, kind of Formulas and Gateways for sure. It's just like, to me, Trey's work just stands out way more through like solos wise. Like like you were saying, like kind of sludgy stuff they'll be going, and then all of a sudden the solo will just break out and take a whole direction and stuff. But yeah, I've yet to see them live. I still need to mark that off my bucket list for sure. But hell yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, but maybe I feel like, have you listened to the latest album, Kingdom Sustain?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, I played it a couple times. I would love to check it out again, but I definitely liked it more than their album before that.
Yeah, that one was not my cup of tea, to be honest. But I'm somehow a Steve Tucker fan when it comes to Morbid Angel. I mean, David Vincent had like really great songs on Domination, Covenant, and all that, but I don't know. I felt like he's making the outfit weird over the time for the band and stuff like that. So I really got into the Steve Tucker era Morbid Angel. Whatever.
Hell yeah. So with Wild Hun, like as far as like lyrical themes and stuff like that, I kind of read some stuff when you're doing like the promotion for the album, how it's a lot of, happy vibes, bright colors, kind of just like something like so happy that it's like, you said, like overbearing type of thing of that, like kind of feeling the fantasy and stuff like that. When it comes to like lyrical themes, would you say majority of it's like kind of fiction stuff, or is it kind of related to like stuff in your life, or a little bit of both? Or because when I opened the vinyl, I love that overall vibe. Like, it kind of just, I didn't expect it, but it totally fits it too, with all the pies laid out and stuff like that. It just makes me think of like, I don't know, like a summer or spring day, and you're just with a bunch of company and just, I don't know, just purely enjoying the weekend or whatever. And like, I just thought it was cool that it was in the vinyl part. It kind of just gave a whole nother visual element, I think, to the music.
Yeah. It's definitely actually like 100% connected to my personal life, and the overall album theme is about something I call, or a concept I call, the zone, or with my friends we call it ethereal pro, like professional ethereal.
Okay.
And yeah, it's about that, a very special angelic state of mind, which I can just describe with maybe in spring you come out and the air smells really special, and or it almost feels like being a child. and you feel light, you feel some airiness, some excitement and positivity and all that. And this is to a point where it gets really unreal, and that it really fills up you from the inside, or fills you up from the inside. And this is something I really seek in my life. And most over the last years, when I had like my when I was still self-employed with my studio and all that, I really only lived in this world. You know, it became a reality for me to just be inside the zone, or just to feel ethereal pro all the time. And it is on one side, it's very glittery, very inspiring or inspirational, and it makes you feel high, and it makes you feel detached and otherworldly, which is for me a positive thing. But on the other hand, it is really a burden, and it can make you feel so weird and so, you know, out of your body, and so so far away that it's sometimes easy to get lost in these kind of feelings. And this is actually the conflict or the contrast where what the album is about, to be really like elevated and all that, but to, you know, to lose your mind and to lose contour about it. And this is how I lived for a long period of time, actually. And it might sound really out of space, but that's, you know, when I'm honest, that's what it is. And this is also the lyrical themes, and everything about the album is focused on that thing, on ethereal pro, on the zone. Everything is about that, and it's it's like a wholesome concept for the album, and it's a little bit how I, you know, view the world, and what my circumstances in life have been or are. And everything in the lyrics, from the music to the sounds, or the production, the visuals, everything is about the zone. And it's definitely, it has a lot to do with my life, actually.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, all my favorite music I listen to, like, I notice it kind of takes me out of like my normal thought process, and kind of just, you know, keeps me out of my daily life type of thing when I'm in the zone listening to music. But I noticed with this album even more so, I'm just like driving every morning, grabbing a coffee and just randomly smiling, because like that's how great the music is. And it's like, it's so, you know, blissful, happy, positive vibes, but like there's still that heaviness behind it. You know what I mean? It's still metal, it's still, you know, hard rock, it still has, you know, crazy double bass and all that stuff. And not enough people could pull that off, where it's like happy and metal at the same time, and have it come out tasteful. Like that's the thing. But dude, that's awesome.
Thank you, man. It's more like the aesthetic of it, or the sound, the heaviness, if you call it. I rather consider it like, you know, a certain energy. It's not like that heaviness always has to be dark. It has to be, heaviness means power, like and transience, and, you know, everything comes together at the same time and stuff like that. And so this is also what I, you know, try to do, to make it sound heavy, but not dark. And I don't think you have that so much in heavy music.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Hell yeah. So you kind of wrote most album around 2017, a little bit before that, right? Around that time?
Right.
Well, do you recall like kind of what you were listening to at that time, the music, or was there any like books or films that kind of helped inspire some aspects of it? I mean, I know you said there's a lot with your normal life, lyrical themes and stuff like that, but do you recall like what you were listening to at the time and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. And it might maybe surprise you. It was actually a lot of trap music. It was the first A$AP Rocky when it came out. I don't know if you know it. I think Live Love ASAP or something like that. I don't recall it, but there's bass on it track and Brand New Guy and stuff like that. And I thought like, man, those modern hip hop artists, they are really on a thing because the beats are so and I thought it was so cool. And a lot of that really influenced me, or I was feeling the very same at the time. You can put it this way. And so it was another vibe that was coming to this zone concept that I was talking earlier about. And I think it influenced me, for example, to do auto-tune on the last song. I think it's coming from the trap music actually. And I was listening to also to Young Lean.
I'm a fan of him.
And all that kind of 2000s, mid 2010s, early 2010s cloud rap and stuff like that. I was a sucker for that, definitely. And otherwise, of course, years before, way back, I was listening to the Deftones a lot, Smashing Pumpkins, Hum, but that didn't change so much from Melting. I also did that when I was writing Melting Sun, but more weird and open, innovative electronic music, especially trap, was a big thing for me back then.
Nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, I loved A$AP Rocky's work around like 2012 for sure. And like, I love the A$AP Mob for sure and stuff like that. I didn't like his last album as much. Kind of like it wasn't like it was completely creative and artistic and different for him. And I still think it's talented. But to me, it was kind of more like Frank Sinatra sounding to me.
But what was the last one? Testing or something, right?
Yeah, I forget exactly, but I think he's kind of going back to more like rap sound. I don't know. I think he released a single recently. I forgot to check it out, but and then Young Lean too. I'm a big fan ever since like Oreo Milkshake and stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool because, especially Young Lean, he was so fucking young. It's unbelievable. And the tracks were so out of space. It impressed me a lot, actually, especially the first album and also the second, the third, they were all really, really great and still think they are really good. Yeah.
The producers, Young Sherman and Young Good and stuff. I noticed like other than like credible rhythmic guitar playing and huge chords and like kind of new approach to riffs for Wild Hun, I really noticed the bass and drums sticking out. The bass is like right in the pocket, but also stands out differently creatively on other parts too. I know, and then the drums are just extremely progressive and intricate. So like I know Felix recorded the drums and performed the drums, but when it came to the bass, did you write all the bass and then did you write the drums beforehand type of thing or?
Yeah, with me, it's always like everything is happening all together. So I, start off when I feel inspired, grab the guitar, play a riff, and then I instantly record it and also program the drums for it and play the bass. So I also composed the bass and the drums, and Felix was, performing them. That's pretty much how it works for me.
Nice. You use like a drum program or something like that, or?
Yeah, I mean, some drum computer, but I don't really remember what it was, I think. And also, kind of funny, I don't think I can still play the songs for the album because I'm really just a recording album artist, and I really have to re-listen the whole thing and by ear and try how and if I wanted to play it now again, I mean so it's really that process is what I do, like write something, record it, finish it.
Okay, nice. And I meant to ask earlier too, like on your own like side work other than the music you create, you also record artists and bands too, right?
Yeah, I did in the past, but now I just do it for friends, or
Okay.
sometime when I really, really like something.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right on. We were kind of talking about it earlier, Glitch King and stuff like that. Like, yeah, to me, some of the beats kind of remind me of like Young Lean, and then like Spooky Black and like Corbin and stuff like that. Kind of get
Yeah.
those vibes for sure. Did you write Glitch King like before Wild Hunt or after, or like around the same time? Like, what inspired Glitch King, and can you just talk about that more in general?
Yeah, sure. I more or less, I think I wrote them at the same time, maybe like with a few months between or something. But it was, I can, for now I can say it was at the same time. And actually it was inspired by, um, like by the same thing, by the concept of the zone or ethereal crow. It was the same thing for me, just a different side of, or just a different facet of the same thing, whereas the Wildhund album is more on the positive side, on the really, glittery, flirring, powerful side. The Glitch King side is the downside to it. It's like, if you get lost within the zone, or you don't really feel like, you feel like a little bit of emptiness within that kind of feeling, this is what Glitch King is about. And it also had, I did everything, almost everything with analog gear on Glitch King, and the main source of inspiration for doing the sounds was actually an old Akai sampler, S2000. I don't know if you know them, back from the 90s. They were like a poor man's sampler. And once I got this machine, I got really crazy about it, because it's such a cheap sampler, and it doesn't really sound good like in a hi-fi way, but it has this weird crunch going on, and this this lo-fi aesthetic that comes straight out of the box. And so I was getting more into synthesis of sounds by getting the sampler and wavetable synthesis and all that kind of stuff. And it all happened on the small rack kind of sampler thing I have, and I still love it. I use it all the time, and it really made me change the way I make music. This is why I speak about it as one centerpiece of, instrument or tool, or even inspiration for the album.
Awesome. Yeah, I feel like it's very creative, just as much as Wild Hunt, and it's like each song, it's its own entity, and it's very different, but yeah, at the same time similar as far as like the visual elements and stuff.
I'm glad you like it, because I thought I wanted to release the things separately from another, but then I thought, like, it's I want to be seen more as a person or an artist that has different kind of things to say, or different mediums to speak through and stuff like that. And so I thought, why opening something more up? Everything I do is kind of my music, and from what I got from the feedback from the previous albums and stuff like that, people really like that, when I show more of the stuff that I do. And I thought, like, it's kind of a cool and edgy thing to do on Plus. And I thought, like, it would be the best bonus material, the best additional content to the album possible. So I think it was, for me, it was a really cool thing to do.
Nice. Have different outlets and stuff within the band. That's awesome. It's still showcase, and it still is part of the soundscape and visual element for sure. Speaking of like lo-fi, you were talking about earlier, have you heard of like the rap group? They're no longer together, but Main Attractions?
Main Attractions now.
Okay. The producer like that does beats for them is called Friend Zone. It was like two guys, but anyways, I'll have to send you some stuff, but it's kind of like that same kind of big synths and stuff, but it's still like hard rap and stuff. So it's pretty pretty different and interesting, but I feel like you might dig it.
Yeah, cool. It's over.
And then what are you like listening nowadays? I mean, kind of similar stuff like we were talking about earlier, or like I know you're saying some death metal and stuff earlier and Morbid Angel and stuff like that, but any like new contemporary stuff you checked out that you're impressed by?
Not so much when it comes to death metal, but I honestly don't really check on it too much. I have my classics and I really like them, and sometimes something will pop up or something that is kind of cool. But yeah, it's really mixed. At the moment, I'm listening to a lot of R&B music, old school Aaliyah stuff and new school stuff. I like the SZA album, or I don't know, I think she's called SZA, SZA. Not sure, I just thought it would be the right way to pronounce it. Was really cool. And my favorite artist over the last 2 years was some guy called Jake Trashman. And he's, do you know Freddie Dredd?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's a rapper, but he's somewhat,
Oh, you said
Freddie Dredd, but he's somewhat, I think you made beats for him, but Jake Trashman is like on another level. He does everything. It's drum and bass, techno, ambient, guitar music, weird, wobbly. I don't know. It's really interesting, and I think is one of my most listened artists over the last 2 years. And also, I listen to a lot of Lewis Cole. Do you know him?
I do not. Never heard of him.
So really like a wonder child. He's so super talented that it gets scary sometimes. And he does play the drums, he sings, he makes all these funky songs, but I like the soft songs by Lewis Cole, and I like the less funky ones, the less hyped up songs, the slower ones that are really, really cool, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, and everything else is kind of mixed from grunge to trap to everything that Spotify suggests me somehow. Yeah.
Nice. I'm sorry, did you say Freddie Gibbs earlier?
No, Freddie Dredd.
Okay. I was going to say, oh yeah, I know that because that's a rapper too, Freddie Gibbs, but
yeah.
Never mind. So what is the future of LANTLÅS looks like? Like, do you guys have shows set up next year, or are you already writing stuff? What's next, you think?
Definitely no live shows, because over the last years I got a regular job, and playing live is very costs a lot of time, and I don't really want to focus too much on live, because like I said earlier, I consider myself a songwriter and producer, so my main thing to do is writing songs, and I really like that, and playing live is also cool, but writing songs is what I do, and this is why I want to focus. Plus, I don't have a band, no rehearsal room, and so and a regular day job and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of impossible at the moment. But I've been writing a lot of new songs for LANTLÅS over the last 2 years or something. I think I have like 15 songs or something written, and and I think 6 of them have already vocals, so I'm almost I really don't want to wait another 7 years to that was kind of something that actually really fucked me up, like I said at the beginning of as we started speaking. So I say that now, but I try to have it finished by next year, the new LANTLÅS level.
That's awesome to hear. Hell yeah. Can't wait, man. Well, anything else you'd like to say out there for the fans or listeners?
I want to say or thank you everyone again who checked out the album, who wrote a comment, wrote a DM or something. Like I said at the beginning, I was really blown away by it, and I consider it a very special thing to have, and a very privilege to to get all these great messages and feedback and all that. And yeah, that was something that was really important for me. And yeah, and I also, I want to invite everyone who hasn't checked the new album out to check it out and let me know what they think about it. And and thank you for having me for the interview, of course.
Yeah, definitely. It was a pleasure, man. Thank you. And to everyone out there, if you haven't bought Wild Hunt yet, definitely go to LANTLۆS Bandcamp or Prophecy Productions website and go buy that stuff. It's fucking amazing. And I'm going to be playing it for a long time coming. Do you have any like particular favorite songs on the album? Like they're all kind of mean something different.
That would be Vertigo, The Bubble, Lich, and sometimes it's Planetarium, sometimes it's Magnolia, but I think all of these are my favorites.
Nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, mine would probably, I love them all, but for sure Magnolia, Planetarium, and Dream Machine. Those ones stand out the most to me.
Yeah, cool.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Markus, and I really appreciate it, man. It's been a long time coming, and I hope to hear from you again soon. And can't wait for new material. And dude, never stop writing awesome music. Stoked for that Labyrinth of Stars too, man. But dude, have a good rest of your evening, and thanks again, man.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me, man.